Thank you, Michelle. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. The Read Live suite of programs includes Read Naturally Live, Word Warm-Ups Live, 1 Minute Reader Live, and Read Naturally Live Espanol. Read Naturally Live is our flagship program. The primary focus is fluency and phonics with additional support for vocabulary, spelling, and comprehension. Word Warm-Ups Live focuses on phonics with support for fluency, spelling, and phonemic awareness. Read Naturally Live Espanol is a Spanish language version of Read Naturally Live and is designed to help multilingual readers develop Spanish literacy skills. 1 Minute Reader Live's primary focus is fluency with support for vocabulary and comprehension. 1 Minute Reader Live doesn't require teacher involvement. It's a structured, independent reading practice for developing readers of all ages. Today, I'll explain how to log into Read Live for the first time, the Read Live navigation menu and homepage, adding or updating a school, adding staff, adding students individually, assigning Read Naturally Live licenses, and access to other Read Live programs, as well as a student's lead teacher and how to create a student password report. I'm going to leave my PowerPoint now. This is the Read Live login page. Any staff member that is set up in Read Live will receive an activation email from noreply@readnaturally.com with information and instructions about setting up the Read Live account. When the staff member the activation email will have the URL to go to, and the staff member will click on staff member. They'll enter their 8-digit account ID. The user ID that was in the email usually defaults to first initial last name, and then they'll enter their password that was their temporary password that was in the email. When they log in for the first time, they'll be asked to reset their password and verify that password. And then they'll be asked to select a security question. And then they'll be taken to the orientation and resources page. And this page tells you what your role is in Read Live and what your permissions. And then it gives a quick instructions on how to get started. So we're going to start at the main navigation menu, which is the 3 horizontal lines at the top left. This is a drop-down menu of the same as the home page. The home page has tiles. Each tile will have bullet points that tell you exactly what you can do if you go to that page. Each account starts with one school. So we're going to go to account and school administration. And like I said, we can either go to the tile account and school administration or from the drop-down menu account and school administration. So this is my demo account, which has additional schools, but typically your account will start out by saying my school. Up here in the upper left corner, you'll see your account license summary, how many total licenses you have, how many are available, and when your subscription expires. It will have your account name and the main account contact. So if you want to add a school, you would just click Add School, and you'd add your school, and you can either let the school use any licenses available or reserve a certain number of licenses that no other school can have access to. But for right now, with a new account, you'd click on My School, and if you wanted to change that, you can just highlight it and remove it, and then just type in the name of your school. And then reserve the licenses or just leave it as any available, and then save and close. Once your school is updated, you can add staff members if you want to add staff members, and you can add staff members at any time or remove staff members at any time. So you'll go to staff member administration and then add staff member, the add staff member tile in the upper left corner. You'll type in their first name and last name. You'll choose their role. The table across here gives their basic permissions that staff member will have. The X's tell what they have. If you want to learn more about what all the different role permissions that they have, you just click learn more about roles, and it gives all the permissions that role would have. And then you just press the toggle button. You'd select the school that you want that teacher to be at, and then you'd enter their email address. And then verify it. And the user ID defaults to first initial last name, and then you would either save and add another or save and close. Then you can add and license your students. So we'll go back to the main navigation menu and go to student administration. And then we'll go to student setup, where you can add, edit, and delete students, add, remove student licenses one at a time, or change student status. So I'm going to click on student setup tile. And in the upper left corner, I'm going to click on add student. Any field that has an asterisk is a field that needs to be filled in. So you enter their first and last name. You'll enter the grade that student is in. You'll select their school. You'll select a student user ID. A user ID should be something easy for the student to remember. A lot of times it will be their school ID or their lunch number. So I'm just going to type this in. And then a password. A password has to be at least 3 characters. And all students can have the same password if you'd like. It just needs to be something like the user ID that's easy for that student to remember. And then you're going to license the student. So you'll just click yes. You'll select a lead teacher. And you'll notice that when the student was assigned a license, they're automatically given access to Read Naturally Live and 1 Minute Reader Live. And you can choose if you'd like them to have access to Word Warm-Ups Live and Read Naturally Live Espanol, and just check those boxes. The contact IDs, these do not need to be filled in, but if you want to be able to send information home to parents or guardians, you can enter that information, and then you can send rewards or information to parents right from Read Live. And then you can click save and add another, or save and close. And then if by chance you need to create a student password report from the main navigation menu again, or from the home page, you'll click on reports. And I should mention that depending on your role in Read Live, you may not see all of these tiles. So I'm going to click on reports and then student passwords. You just check the box next to the students that you want a password or you want to generate a report for. And then it brings up a page with that student's information, the student name, their grade, their user ID, and their password. I also want to show how you can sort and filter. If you would like to filter by last name, you can click on the 3 horizontal lines and type in part or all of the last name, and then click apply. And then it brings up any of the students with that same last name. You can tell that there's a filter on. So if you log in and you say, I don't see all of my students, you can see that right here, this funnel means that there's a filter on. So what you would do is just click reset and it will bring up your entire list. Another thing that you can do is if you click on the column name, it will sort in order, or if you click on it again, it will go backwards. Michelle, do we have any questions?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I do have a question. I have a teacher asking if they create a new staff member, how does that new staff member know that they can log in to read live?
Oh, great question. So when a staff member is created, they will receive an email from no reply at readnaturally.com with their login credentials, just like the account administrator did when they first got started. And which brings up another thing I like to mention too, is if you have a staff member that you've added to the account and they haven't gotten their password, you can click reset and it will resend them it will resend that password email. And that will be valid. If you click the reset password email, it's only valid for 8 hours. Also, sometimes staff members will get locked out of the account, and this unlock box will be black. And if you click on that, it will unlock them. Any staff members except account administrators will be unlocked after 30 minutes. Account administrators will need to call our tech support department at 800-788-4085 to have us unlock the account.
Great information. I do have one more question that came in. If a teacher adds a student and perhaps decides right now that they don't want word warm-ups or 1-minute reader, is there a way to add it at a later time?
Yes, definitely. So you can either go to that particular student. So I'll just click on one of my fake students here. And so you could just check the box next to it. The other way to do that would be so if from the navigation menu, if I went to, I think you said Word Warm-Ups Live.
Yep.
If I went to Word Warm-Ups Live tile, and I could see right here in this Word Warm-Ups access column, what students did not have access to Word Warm-Ups Live. If I check the box next to their last name, and then I can add Word Warm-Up Live access. You can add multiple students at a time.
Great, that's good to know. I have one answered question. Could you review how you see how many licenses the school has?
Oh, sure. So back, main navigation menu, account and school administration. This box at the top, account license summary, this has the total licenses in the account. And the second line is how many are available, how many are not assigned to students.
And then just to add for this, for Heidi here, who's asking the question, Heidi, if your school, if you have multiple schools in your account and they are listed here with this license count or this column heading here, any available means that these schools can use any license that might be available in the account. And so that's how you can tell by a school for a specific school.
Right, and I'll just, because you mentioned that, Michelle, I'm just going to change this school right here and reserve licenses for it so that you can see what it looks like if a school has licenses reserved. So Tracy School can only use 5 licenses.
Great,
So that's
thank
what it
you.
looks like. Sure.
Yeah, great, thank you. I don't see any other questions coming in at this time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and close. We will sign off with the webinar. Hope everyone got a lot out of the presentation. Just a reminder that we will be sending out follow-up emails with links to the webinar recording in 24 hours. Feel free to share the recording with your colleagues, and please respond to the survey questions that appear on your screen after the webinar so that we can continue to improve the educational experience for all of you and our future webinars. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the rest of your day.